What does this sign mean? Uneven road. Steep hill upwards. Steep hill downwards. Adverse camber. What does this sign mean? Uneven road surface. Water across the road. Bridge over the road. Road ahead ends. What does this sign mean? Turn left for parking area. Turn left for ferry terminal. No through road on the left. No entry for traffic turning left. What does this sign mean? T-junction. Toilet ahead. No through road. Telephone box ahead. Which is the sign for a ring road? What does this sign mean? The right-hand lane ahead is narrow. Right-hand lane for turning right. The right-hand lane is closed. Right-hand lane for buses only. What does this sign mean? One-way street. Change to the left lane. Leave at the next exit. Contraflow system. What does this sign mean? Leave motorway at next exit. Rest area for lorries. All lorries use the hard shoulder. Lane for heavy and slow vehicles. What does a red traffic light mean? Proceed with care. You should stop unless turning left. Stop if you're able to brake safely. You must stop and wait behind the stop line. At traffic lights, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? Go if the way is clear. Prepare to go. Go if no pedestrians are crossing. Stop at the stop line. You're at a junction controlled by traffic lights. When shouldn't you proceed at green? When your exit from the junction is blocked. When pedestrians are waiting to cross. When you think the lights might be about to change. When you intend to turn right. You're in the left-hand lane at traffic lights, waiting to turn left. At which of these traffic lights mustn't you move on? What does this sign mean? New traffic lights ahead. Temporary traffic lights ahead. Amber signal out of order. Traffic lights out of order. When traffic lights are out of order, who has priority? Traffic turning right. Nobody. Traffic turning left. Traffic going straight on. These flashing red lights mean that you must stop. Level crossings. Pelican crossings. Zebra crossings. Motorway exits. What do these zigzag lines at pedestrian crossings mean? No parking at any time. Parking allowed only for a short time. Slow down to 20 miles per hour. Sounding horns isn't allowed. When may you cross a double solid white line in the middle of the road? To pass traffic that's queuing back at a junction. To pass a road maintenance vehicle travelling at 10 miles per hour or less. To pass a vehicle that's towing a trailer. To pass a car signalling to turn left ahead. What does this road marking mean? Don't cross the line. No overtaking allowed. You're approaching a hazard. No stopping allowed. Where would you see this road marking? Near a level crossing. At a box junction. On road humps. At traffic lights. Which of these is a hazard warning line? At this junction, there's a stop sign and a solid white line on the road surface. It's a busy junction. Speed on the major road is D-restricted. There are hazard warning lines in the centre of the road. Visibility along the major road is restricted. You see this line across the road at the entrance to a roundabout. What does it mean? You have right of way. Stop at the line. Traffic from the left has right of way. Give way to traffic from the right. How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle normally get you to stop? Wait until you stop, then approach you. Pull alongside you, use the siren and wave you to stop. Use the siren, overtake, cut in front and stop. Flash the headlights, indicate left and point to the left. You're approaching a junction where the traffic lights aren't working. What should you do when a police officer gives this signal? Turn right only. Stop at the stop line. Continue ahead only. Turn left only. The driver of the car in front is giving this arm signal. What does it mean? The driver is slowing down. The driver wishes to overtake. The driver intends to turn left. The driver intends to turn right. Where would you see these road markings? On a single-track road. At a level crossing. At a pedestrian crossing. On a motorway slip road. What does this motorway sign mean? Change to the lane on your left. Change to the opposite carriageway. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Pull up on the hard shoulder. What does this motorway sign mean? Temporary minimum speed 50 miles per hour. Obstruction 50 metres, 164 feet, ahead. Temporary maximum speed 50 miles per hour. No services for 50 miles. What does this sign mean? Through traffic to use left lane. 11-ton weight limit. Right-hand lane T-junction only. Right-hand lane closed ahead. What does 25 mean on this motorway sign? The number of the next junction. The route number of the road. The speed limit on the slip road. The distance to the nearest town. How should the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway be used? As a right turn lane. As an acceleration lane. As an overtaking lane. As a high-speed lane. Where can you find reflective amber studs on a motorway? Separating the lanes. On the left-hand edge of the road. On the right-hand edge of the road. Separating the slip road from the motorway. Where on a motorway would you find green reflective studs? Separating driving lanes. At slip road entrances and exits. Between the carriageway and the central reservation. Between the hard shoulder and the carriageway. What should you do when you see this sign as you travel along a motorway? Move onto the hard shoulder. Turn left immediately. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Change lane. What does this sign mean? No motor vehicles. No through road. End of motorway. End of bus lane. Which of these signs means that the national speed limit applies? What's the maximum speed on a single carriageway road? 40 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour. What does this sign mean? End of motorway. End of restriction. Free recovery end. Lane ends ahead. What does this sign indicate? A picnic area. A cycle route. A diversion route. A pedestrian zone. What does this temporary sign indicate? A variable speed limit ahead. A mandatory speed limit change ahead. The speed limit change at the end of the motorway. An advisory change of speed limit ahead. What does this traffic sign mean? Advised separation distance. Advisory maximum speed limit. Compulsory maximum speed limit. Compulsory minimum speed limit. What should you do when you see this sign at a crossroads? Maintain the same speed. Find another route. Carry on with great care. Telephone the police. You're signalling to turn right in busy traffic. How would you confirm your intention safely? Flash your headlights. Position over the centre line. Give an arm signal. Sound the horn. What does this sign mean? Motorcycles only. No cars. Cars only. No motorcycles. You're on a motorway. A lorry has stopped in the right-hand lane. What should you do when you see this sign on the lorry? Move into the right-hand lane. Stop behind the flashing lights. Pass the lorry on the left. Leave the motorway at the next exit. You're on a motorway. Red flashing lights appear above your lane only. What should you do? Pull onto the hard shoulder. Stop and wait for an instruction to proceed. Continue in that lane and look for further information. Move into another lane in good time. When may you sound the horn? To make slower drivers move over. To warn others of your presence. To give you right of way. To attract a friend's attention. Your vehicle is stationary. When may you use its horn? When the road is blocked by queuing traffic. When signalling that you've just arrived. When it's used only briefly. When another road user poses a danger. What does this sign mean? No parking on the days and times shown. You can park on the days and times shown. No parking at all from Monday to Friday. End of the urban clearway restrictions. What does this sign mean? Quayside or riverbank. Uneven road surface. Road liable to flooding. Steep hill downwards. What does this white line along the centre of the road mean? Hazard warning. Lane marking. Bus lane marking. Give way warning. What's the reason for the yellow crisscross lines painted on the road here? To mark the entrance lane to a car park. To prevent queuing traffic from blocking the junction on the left. To mark out an area for trams only. To warn you of the tram lines crossing the road. What's the reason for the area marked in red and white along the centre of this road? It separates traffic flowing in opposite directions. It marks an area to be used by overtaking motorcyclists. It separates the two sides of the dual carriageway. It's a temporary marking to warn of the roadworks. Other drivers may sometimes flash their headlights at you. In which situation are they allowed to do this? To show that they're giving way to you. To warn you of their presence. To let you know there's a fault with your vehicle. To warn of a radar speed trap ahead. What speed limit is often found in narrow residential streets? 40 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour. What does this signal mean? Both trams and cars must stop. Trams must stop. Cars must stop. Both trams and cars can continue. Where would you find these road markings? On a pedestrian crossing. At a mini roundabout. At a railway crossing. On a motorway. A police car is following you. The police officer flashes the headlights and points to the left. What should you do? Move over to the left. Stop immediately. Pull up on the left. Turn left at the next junction. You see this amber traffic light ahead. Which light or lights will come on next? Red and amber together. Green and amber together. Red alone. Green alone. You see this signal overhead on the motorway. What does it mean? Sharp bend to the left ahead. All vehicles use the hard shoulder. Leave the motorway at the next exit. Stop. All lanes ahead closed. What must you do when you see this sign? Stop only if a red light is showing. Stop only if traffic is approaching. Stop even if the road is clear. Stop only if children are waiting to cross. Which shape is used for a give way sign? What does this sign mean? Mini roundabout. Keep right. Buses turning. Ring road. What does this sign mean? Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Two-way traffic crosses a two-way road. Two-way traffic straight ahead. Two-way traffic over a bridge. What does this sign mean? Two-way traffic straight ahead. Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Motorway contraflow system, traffic approaching you has priority. What does this sign mean? Low bridge. Uneven road. Hump bridge. Traffic calming hump. What does this sign mean? Parking area for cars and coaches. Direction to park and ride car park. Direction to bus and coach park. No parking for buses or coaches. What should you do when approaching traffic lights where red and amber are shown? Take care because there's a fault with the lights. Wait for the green light. Pass the lights if the road is clear. Stop because the lights are changing to red. Where does this marking normally appear on a road? Just before a no entry sign. Just before a stop sign. Just before a give way sign. Just before a no through road sign. At a railway level crossing, the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by. What should you do? Wait. You're in a tunnel and you see this sign. What does it mean? Direction to emergency pedestrian exit. Which of these signs shows that you're entering a one-way system? What does this sign mean? With flow bus and cycle lane. What does this sign mean? Zebra crossing ahead. Which arm signal tells you that the car you're following is going to pull up? Which of these signs means turn left ahead? You're approaching a red traffic light. What will the signal show next? Red and amber. What does this sign mean? Tunnel ahead. You're approaching a zebra crossing where pedestrians are waiting. Which arm signal might you give? What does the white line along the side of the road indicate? The edge of the carriageway. What does this white arrow on the road ahead mean? Keep left of the hatched markings. How should you give an arm signal to turn left? You're waiting at a T-junction. A vehicle is coming from the right, with its left indicator flashing. What should you do? Wait until the vehicle starts to turn in. When may you use hazard warning lights while you're driving? On a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway, to warn of a hazard ahead. When can you park on these markings outside a school? Not under any circumstances. Why should you make sure that your indicators are cancelled after turning? To avoid misleading other road users. You're driving in busy traffic. You want to pull up on the left, just after a junction on the left. When should you signal? As you're passing or just after the junction.